Oh, I have one where I punched a kid in the face. Ching Chong, are you Chinese or Japanese, right? Every day. And I would let him, and I was whatever. My brother was born, and I realized I don't want him going through that. I got suspended, but it was worth it.
So the model minority myth is essentially the three words combined.
Depending on how racist you are, you think it's either Asian culture or something in their genetics that just makes them intrinsically better than other people of color.
To be like, here's an example of a minority group. Asian Americans, they're a minority group. They're the model of what a minority group should be.
There's nothing behind it besides a history of racism.
And it's a myth because it's a stereotype, and of course, that's not true. Not all Asians are super successful and hardworking and rich.
They see us as high earners. They see us as people who don't need the help, who don't struggle.
I personally had a struggle in 7th grade. My mom, she was diagnosed with cancer. I became this mute person that couldn't express himself anymore. I do feel like people thought that I was quiet because I was just oh, I'm just the studious boy. But in reality, I just had to deal with other things other than the social aspects of life.
You have these stereotypes of people that you just, for some reason, can't seem to throw away. The easiest way to change the perspective of an entire population is through something that makes them comfortable or happy, which is entertainment. Media is a way to distance yourself from the situation at hand while still observing it.
Whitewashing does play into this perpetuating the model minority myth.
Asians have to be the best, the smartest, the richest, the most glamorous. Otherwise, their stories aren't worth telling.
Giving those roles to what should be Asian actors and actresses to white people, you're excluding that Asian perspective and narrative from the media, and as a result, doesn't leave room for diversifying other people's opinions on what makes an Asian American.
You don't understand that it's actually going to end up with us losing our culture, with us being washed away and forgotten. You see all of these kids when they're younger telling their parents, I don't want to speak the language at home. I don't want to learn how to spell. I don't want to learn how to read. I don't care what my name is. Coming from an immigrant family and being an immigrant myself, you see that in your family, your parents slowly start to change because of you.
Being an Asian and being an Asian American are two fundamentally different things. And a white writer cannot understand that because it is an experience that is unique to being not even an immigrant, but the child of immigrants.
This whole thing about how your parents sacrificed basically their entire life so that they could provide you with a better one than they had.
I've heard many stories from them. They've always struggled and just getting over here, starting from scratch. And then my parents, they had to work 2 jobs.
And my mom actually wouldn't tell me a lot. I think she just doesn't want to talk about the difficulties in her life. And so she just wants to portray this version of herself where it's we're a middle class family, we're doing fine now, we can afford some luxuries in life.
They just wanted me to become more successful so I wouldn't have to go through what they had to go through.
Don't lose the connections you have, especially if it's with your family.
Not many people do it, but I FaceTime my parents every night.
So the number one thing that my parents would always say to me is 울다가 웃으면 엉덩이에 털 난다, which means if you cry and then you laugh immediately afterwards, you're going to get fur on your butt like a monkey does. It's the funniest things and the little things that actually are really important.
I found it really hard to relate to others and talk to others about my experiences because I was also low-key having an identity crisis because I was is what I'm doing is what I'm experiencing because I don't relate to what other people are saying, or is it because my Asian background is playing into who I am right now? And I really wanted to talk to people about that, but I didn't have anyone to talk to about it. I was thinking about if I can't find this group, maybe I can help create it.
How am I supposed to find my dream in a country that's not my own if I can't find anybody else in media who did it before me?
When people see people that look and act like them able to overcome obstacles, they kind of internalize, if he can be the hero of his story or she can be the hero of her story, I can be the hero of my story.
It's nice having that representation, to hear those voices and to know basically you're not alone.
Representation always begins with a writer, a producer, a director. I think everyone has a story that's worth telling, and I think everyone has the capacity to tell that story.
We are strong, we are intelligent, we are beautiful in every way of the word possible. So why can't the media show us for who we are?